I picked up a liter of vodka and just started drinking it. Started about 7 o'clock that morning, had the day off, and I'm sitting there thinking, this is my day, I'm gonna feel great, I'm gonna feel good, there's no problems right now, I'm not thinking about everything going on the outside. I woke up about 12 o'clock later on that night, going into the next morning, and I'm in the hospital, and I got a deputy sheriff standing over me, and my girlfriend was there, and basically what happened, I had punched her. Hurts me sometimes. I can't go back and change what I've done, because what I done was something that I used to look at other guys that do it and say, hey, that's wrong. I would never do that, but I've done that myself.
I lost my little girl 6 months ago. She's with her grandparents. She's 4, and I miss her terribly. I missed Christmas. I missed her birthday, February 23rd. I missed Valentine's Day. I missed Easter. And that's enough. Enough. More than enough.
Addiction is the only disease that talks to you in your own voice. I was about 13 years old. I think when I had my first drink, I used to sneak wine from my mother and drink it with Kool-Aid before school. I was an emergency room nurse, so there was a huge demand on my body and my mind, and being an addict, my brilliant idea was to put something in my body to make me be a super nurse. So I found opiates and I found a needle, and I knew what to do from there, and it grew into a monster.
I was working at a job, a third shift, and I found myself taking money from my employer to buy crack. And I said, I'd never do that. I'd never get to that point. And there I was. There it was. When my boss came in and counted until he knew what I had done, he told me to go home. Don't worry about coming back. But his words were, get yourself some help. I cried all the way home. Yeah. It's both thankful and a realization of where my life had come to.
Being at the grocery store and knowing you need to buy milk for the baby, or if you can buy a box of pills, and making the decision to buy a box of pills so you could get high instead of milk. That's what led me to deciding that this is time to stop. This is not a way to live. This is a way to die.
Life should be an adventure. You shouldn't be able to sit in your house and be bored. If you can't spend time with you in a good way, then what's wrong? We're not granted another day like this. And after this one's gone, we'll never have this one back again. Don't throw it away like you've done so many of them already.
You've got to want to change. You've got to want a different life. You've got to want a better life. And if you don't want it, then it's not going to work. But as long as you have your heart set on it and your mind set to it, anybody can be a better person. And this is a wonderful place to start it at.
What I learned those 28 days at Homesview has helped me today and will help me for the rest of my life.
Good morning, how are you?
If you are unable to get or keep a job because of alcohol or substance abuse, we can help. The South Carolina Vocational Rehabilitation Department has 2 residential addiction and dependency treatment centers, Homesview in Greenville and Palmetto Center in Florence. Treatment is voluntary. Clients are referred to the centers by vocational rehabilitation counselors at any of our offices around the state.
I gave a phone call, and one of the counselors there, in fact, her name was Susan Sturgis, very pleasant, spoke with me, and I felt as if she really wanted to help me.
When the clients come here, they are beaten down. The life that they lived prior to coming to Homes Review Center, what they've been exposed to, there's a lot of negative, a lot of dysfunctionalism. So when they come here, we do our best to try to build them up, self-esteem, self-worth, and in doing so, we let them know that they are cared for, they are appreciated, and they are human, and we will treat them that way.
I went into it with the state of mind that, whatever I had been doing was not working, because it had got me to the point where I'd lost custody of my children. I had walked out on yet another job. I had had another vehicle repossessed. I had been evicted from my third house.
Vocational rehab is where I went to try to get back into nursing because addiction is considered a disability. They were willing to help me get into this facility and then help follow up afterwards.
Coming to treatment means this is your time. This is your time to shine, to get your act together, to concentrate on just you and what you need to do to take better care of yourself.
The biggest change for me was understanding that I wasn't a bad person trying to get good, but I was a sick person trying to get well. And once I got that, then I could accept treatment.
Group therapy provides a safe environment for you to begin your recovery.
It's about the relationship, the trust factor. Do they believe in you and do they have a good rapport with you? And the more they do that, the more comfortable they are, the more engaged they are in our program here, and the more they are taking ownership of their life at that point in time.
We all got in there and we started looking at the similarities, not the differences. We were all hurting. We still are, but less than we were when we got here. But I really appreciate the way that our group leader pushed us to dig deeper.
A lot of people does not like to have to talk about their feelings. They like to shut down, shut it up, and it doesn't give them breathing room. It breathes and it breathes, and, you can't get well like that. So the first part is to get it out there in the open, where you can hear it. It becomes very real when you get it out there in the open.
I didn't realize the way that people saw me, I guess. I didn't realize that people saw me as somebody that could be successful, because I used to think I could have been successful as a child, but the meth took all of that away.
We helped each other laugh, and a lot of times we sat with each other when we cried, and I think every one of us, our whole lives came out. By the time we were done, we had told each other our whole life story, all the good, the bad, and the ugly. So it was like, I'm no longer alone knowing the things that I've done.
One of the issues that gets lost in addiction is a lack of purpose. The term getting wasted says it all. There's nothing to do. There's nothing to do in this time, or there's nothing to do with this life, so might as well get wasted.
We're on a schedule here. We get up at 6:30. We've got classes pretty much during the day.
How you doing?
We eat lunch, dinner around the same time, breakfast around the same time.
It established a routine for me to get myself into. Something I could do from the time I got up to the time I went to bed every day. And if I stuck to that routine that they established, then I didn't have time to get high. And that's what I've done every single day. Just exactly what they taught me in those 28 days. And it's worked.
So actually, these people believe in me. They believed in me when I came here. They believe in the clients that are here now. And there's that sense of, though I'm at my worst part of my life, or worst place in my life, there are people that are telling me here, in this pit that I'm in, that they want to see me do better. That's awesome.
Every counselor here, every staff member here gives them a little piece of themselves. And in return, we get a little piece of them. So it works out beautifully.
You will also spend time exploring career opportunities and setting goals for your future.
In the final week that a group is here, I meet with them daily to talk about things like interviewing, job search, job applications, We talk about work etiquette, talk about a number of things that begin to get them thinking about, what's the plan when I leave here as far as my vocation.
After your 4 weeks in the program, you will graduate and continue to receive support from your VR counselor.
They helped me create my resume, and they taught me what to say on an interview, how to dress for an interview. We even did mock interviews. And as a result, I'm employed now, I've been employed now for over a year. So it worked.
I work at a nuclear operating station. There was a test that you had to take before you could be badged to get into the protected area. And this one supervisor, "Oh, you gonna be able to take that test? That's a hard test. I mean, a hard test." And I looked at him, I said, "Did you take the test?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, if you can take it, I can take it." And I did. And I passed.
There is a renewed sense of purpose with employment, and with it a sense of worthiness and fulfillment.
It's exciting to have a goal. I'm working on becoming a licensed optician. That's wonderful. Had taught a boy this morning, 13 years old, how to take his contacts in and out. He was so excited. He said, "Man, I'm going to get all the girls." I said, "You sure are, darling."
I had a lady come in here one day, 1 month, and she looked at her shoes for about 2 weeks. And we kept encouraging her and pushing her and talking to her. And one day she came in, she said, "The stars were out last night." Because she looked up the first time in her life, She was able to hold her head up again. That's the reward. That's the reward, when you get people back to thinking they're people again.
My grandma always told me, you have to be a productive person in society, Melanie. And I never really took that. I always took it with a grain of salt, and I finally learned that at 31.
I feel that it's very important for someone out there that is struggling with addiction of any sort to know that you're not alone. You're not a lost cause. As long as there's air in your lungs, there's a chance that you're going to be okay. All you got to do is carpe diem, seize the day. It's your day. Tomorrow has no mistakes in it unless you put them there. It can be whatever you want it to be. Thank you. Thank you, staff at Holmesview, for feeding me well, for clothing me, for teaching me there is hope. There is. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
For more information about Holmesview or Palmetto Center, contact your local vocational rehabilitation office. Call 1-800-832-7526 or visit findus.scvrd.net. You can also visit us on the web at treatmentcenters.scvrd.net.